I think we can get started. First of all, once again, warm welcome and a good afternoon to everybody. It's going to be a very interesting session today on a very pertinent topic in digital marketing, social media marketing, and how to create engagement in a crowded space. Uh, and to speak on this topic, we have a very accomplished speaker today. Warm welcome, Vikram. Welcome to the session.
Hey, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure.
All right. I know you had some trouble on your internet. I'm hopefully, I'm glad that it got solved. I think it's going to be
everything is fine. Yeah, we are all set. I'm so excited. Yeah.
Cool. Perfect.
Yeah.
So before we get into the session, Vikram, a quick, guidelines to folks on the call. This is an ask me anything kind of a session. So this session is, completely been set up for you guys. Make sure you put your questions in the chat box. We will pick up questions as and when they come, and I'll pass it on to Vikram as well. In the meanwhile, please stay on mute so that it's convenient and it's a undisturbed session for everybody on the call today. All right. Without further delay, let me get into introducing our speaker for the day, Vikram Jetwani. Warm welcome again, Vikram. You've been in the industry for more than 15 years. Done a variety of work, including SEO, e-commerce, digital marketing campaigns for top brands and startups. And interesting thing is it's across not only just in India but US and other countries as well. Vikram has been recognized as a top 10 integrated marketing communications consultants from India in 2020. It's a brilliant accomplishment. Congratulations for that, Vikram. He is a Google certified digital marketer with all 7 major certifications, and like I said, has been working on a variety of functions within digital marketing, whether it's SEO, social media, or content marketing. With that brief intro, I'd like to welcome Vikram once again, and looking forward to your session today, Vikram.
Yeah, thank you so much. And it's a real honor and pleasure to be with you guys. And I'm really looking forward to an interesting session. So feel free, whatever question you have, don't hold anything back. I'm here to, answer any question you have. Maybe even if it is too basic or too advanced, don't worry about that. I understand that, we all have some queries in mind, and even, I get a lot of queries all the time. So don't shy and just, don't be shy and just, let me know whatever you want to ask. And can I share my screen? I have, in the meantime, I have just compiled, some content for you. Maybe, that will give you some directions, some tips and advice, and some strategies you might like to use, or, maybe reinvent in the future. If you can allow me to share the screen.
Yes.
Sure, that's great. Thank you. Amazing. I will wait for the questions, of course, but in the meantime, you just compile your questions. I'm just going to start with a little bit of context so that we get into flow. It's a Saturday afternoon, so
definitely.
I understand that, we have to come into flow. I understand that you all are professionals and, great students and from all walks of life. So let's keep moving, let's talk about social media marketing. That's our goal for the next 1 or 2 hours, So let's talk about social media marketing. We all know that, it's completely essential these days to have social media presence and use social media marketing. So here is some data just for our reference that, most of the companies, be it B2B or B2C, they have to use social media. There is no exception. So if you are a professional into marketing and you are thinking to, migrate or switch your career to digital marketing, that's completely the right choice. So you are going in the right direction. That's what I did, because I was a traditional marketing professional, like way back when I started in 2000. Somebody is trying to, so can I admit someone, like, people are, or you will do it?
Yeah, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
You will take care of it. Okay, great. So what happens, I'm just telling you my story that, I was into traditional marketing, corporate communications, and I work with consulting firms, right from media companies like Times of India Group, and consulting firms like Grant Thornton or Deloitte. And then I moved to the digital marketing space. So I was handling traditional marketing like events and general communications, blocking. Website was also evolving, but not too much at that time. When I started, website was something that they just wanted. Oh, okay, it's a bunch of web pages online, just take care of it. Not interested. Like my management was never interested in that. Like talking about website or getting more content. We just used to have 10 20 pages roughly, and there was not much of attraction and all. So now now you can see there is a huge difference. People just talk about website and social media all over the world. That's what marketing is. Traditional events have gone down after Corona. It has come down like exponentially. Like all the events, like 99% events are no longer happening. So it's all online, it's all digital. And that's why I just want to give you a glimpse of that it's a very vibrant field. And it depends on you how much you can leverage on your skills, how much you can develop yourself. There is no dearth of opportunities across the world. And that's why I think so. Let's move forward. These are some of the stats. I think you already know that social media is imperative. So there is no question about that. It's cost effective. You can get a lot of insights about your competitors, about your industry, what's happening around, sitting in your office or maybe in your home also. These days we are going with work from home. So sitting in your cabin, you can just access the whole world. So that's the beauty of social media marketing. Now there are 4 major pillars under social media marketing. So if you just divide your activities in these 4 categories or buckets, it will be easier for you to manage your social media and grow it systematically, right? If you are in a job, for example, it will be easier for you to categorize the activity and assign or delegate these tasks to your team members, and also report it to your seniors. So these are the 4 buckets. So start with social listening. These are very essential elements of your social media strategy. You have to start with listening, right? We say that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we have to listen more, right? So we have to listen what our audiences or what our target audiences are talking about, right? How you will do it, I will tell you, because there are so many tools and so many ways you can do it. So everything is possible. Whatever we are talking here, it's all possible. Okay, so just focus on social listening whenever you are trying to develop a social media strategy for your company, right? Then influencing. Once you listen, once you understand your customer or your client, then you can start with your influencing, or the influencer strategy. What we see that, people are becoming influencers in certain domains. Companies want to become influencer in certain domains or in their chosen area of business. So you have to then develop your social influencing strategy. I will give you some templates also, how you can just systemize or how you can just categorize and start with your social media strategy roadmap. Okay, then you start with networking. Once you start, going to the market, once you have the go-to-market strategy, then you start engaging with your audiences. And we are heavily focusing on engagement these days, because as I say that, all the companies are trying to get their piece of cake in the social media space. So everyone is vying for that same kind of audiences, right? Like whatever industry you are in, you might be having competitors. They are also vying for the same kind of audiences. So that is why it's very essential that how you engage with your audience, it makes all the difference, right? We'll talk about that, how to do that. Then comes social selling. Now, if you are, you must have seen your maybe people around you who are doing some Instagram selling, who are selling through Facebook, who are selling through social media very easily. These are youngsters. I am so happy that I'm seeing youngsters around me who are, who have such bright mindset that they can launch a business on their mobile device, and they are doing so well. It's such a great thing for us that, sitting in their homes, our kids are having mobile device, and they are just, sourcing the products from somewhere and selling it somewhere. And they are so bright, and like the energy and everything is so I think that's fantastic. And that's what social selling is all about. Like, even if you are a professional and working in some company, you may start with social selling. So there's a huge space. Like Instagram has come up with social, that icon you must have noticed. I think it's in India, I think it has started. I think that in India it's still in the beta mode, but in most of the other countries it is already working. In the US and the Middle East, social selling is pretty prominent. So they just have their mobile. And the beauty is that if you want to start a business, you don't have to register anything with the authorities. Like, there are so many other regulatory things required. But on these kind of businesses, there are no regulatory, regulations these days. So it's coming up very fast. Maybe in future we might have something like that. But as of now, in many countries, we have seen that, there are no restrictions on that. And it's way easier to start a business on your mobile device, just on your mobile device. That's it. You just have to figure out who is going to supply the sourcing side. And you have to, just figure out a little bit of logistics. And then you have to do your marketing, and you can develop your business from there. And people are raking in like millions of dollars in some countries. Like in the US and Middle East, I have seen that people are raking in millions, from starting from these kind of social selling businesses. They have grown up like anything, and they have evolved their companies like, into $1 million companies. So that's the potential we have on these different buckets when it comes to social. So any questions so far? I think in the chat box, if we have any questions.
Yeah, there are a couple of questions. One is from Omkar. His question is, how to become a pro in social content creation.
Okay, how to become a pro in social content creation by Nothing to Pro. That's a great question, Omkar. Well, social is all about content. So you have just got the pulse that if we are talking about social media, it's about content. Okay. Now, how to go from good to great, or maybe from nothing to pro? As you have said, it's a great title, man. Like Nothing to Pro. It's a title for the book, like good to great, nothing to pro. Now, first of all, never think that you are nothing. Okay. So that's the first thing, that never ever say that you don't know anything. Like I'm talking about something like, you have to admit that you have a way forward, you have a future. Okay. Now, because once you say that you're nothing, those brain waves, start moving around your aura, and maybe it will take a lot of time for you. So I'm also working on, mindset coaching, and also that's why I always give you these tips as well. Apart from the hard skills and soft skills, you should also have the mindset skills, where you have, acceptability and receiving capabilities. Everything will come to you. You can become pro. Now, coming to the points, how you can do it. First of all, as I said, that go for social listening. Okay. Now, if you want to search for anything, what do? You go to Google, right? Everyone goes to Google. If you want to search or do some social listening, what will you do? Google is not providing you content from Facebook or Instagram or any other channel, YouTube, like that, right? Not that prominently. Like you cannot find a Facebook post on, Google search doesn't search for Facebook post or Instagram post directly. Okay, very rarely. Like LinkedIn, they sometimes rank the articles, but not the post. So posts are not getting ranked. Okay, so how you will search for this content? Why I'm talking about? Because you have to understand what people are talking about, what they want. Then you will start thinking in that direction. Okay, so I'm giving you one tool, which is social mention. Okay, now let's go very systematically. Okay, now social mention tool. Where is that? Yeah, let's come down. Yeah, right here. This is the one, social mention. Okay, so this is the real-time search. This is the search engine for social media. Let's say which company you are in or which domain you are in, Omkar. Just give me your industry name or something, some domain. Just give me that. I will take that example. Are you there, Omkar? If you can give me any industry, or if you want, I like to attend. Okay, you are a digital marketer. So let's take, I'm searching for, let's say i20, okay, as a car. Let's see, you know, what's happening, what people are talking about this car. Okay. Okay, I saw that you said online gaming. So this is what people are talking about i20. You know, these are the different things which people are talking about i20. So you can see that what is trending, like i20 coupe, you know, some reviews. So here there are different things, and you can see that what people are talking about, you know, and these are the top keywords around your keyword, which is i20, right? Likewise, let's say, you know, online gaming. So you will get your insights about this keyword. So can you see that this is a search engine, you know, just like Google, search engine for social media. So this is this will help you in social listening, what people are talking about, what's getting published about these certain industries, or even if you have any, if you are working in some company. I'm sorry, I just pushed something. Okay, so if you're working in some company, let's say, let's find out what people are talking about Deloitte. So we'll find the mentions, right? So these are the different latest news about, you know, Deloitte, and there are different categories, sources, or, you know, you can define the period also, like what has been said in the last hour. Okay, so let's see what's the mention. 0 mentions as of now. Last 12 hours, nothing been said. Okay, so this will give us some perspective. In the last week, we have, you know, these kind of things coming up, what people are talking about, you know, about Deloitte. So this will help you that these are the topics which people are talking about. These are the hot trending topics, and you can start writing on this content, you know, what you are seeing right now. So once you know that this is trending, then you also start talking about that. Okay, let's say you can do a review, or you can go to some forums and just start talking, or you can maybe launch a discussion in your Facebook group, or if you have Instagram, you know, whichever channels you are focusing on. Okay, or if you are a YouTuber or you are doing some YouTube videos, start create a YouTube video on these topics, you know, because these are the topics which are trending right now and people are interested. There are conversations happening around that. Okay, so this will give you topics, okay, that what to talk about. Now, the biggest challenge for social media content is that way too many people start creating content without knowing that what to talk about, or what to emphasize on, or what to focus on, right? So that's the problem. So once you are sure that this is the topic I want to talk about, just list that down, okay? And then if you are good with writing, create a blog. If you are good with speaking or your video skills, go with YouTube, or maybe create a short video. So if you want to go into video marketing, create short stories, right? All of us have some kind of skills. Maybe, you know, if you are not a content writer, you can always speak something, just create a story on Instagram, or even nowadays YouTube is also taking stories, and Facebook, every Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, you know, they have their story format. So just create a story on that, just talk about that, talk about your perspective about that thing. Let's say online gaming, you know, online gaming has boosted in the past 2 years because of Corona lockdown. Thanks to lockdown, you just say something like which is interesting, which is insightful. If that is your domain and you are trying to do something in that, just come up with some value. Okay, I don't really prefer to create content like I have seen influencers, they have their own preferences, but as a professional, always think about value, like what you are telling people. If you focus on value, that what kind of insights you are providing to someone, maybe it's your experience or some insights like that. I don't generally prefer or recommend that you post that, this is what I'm eating in the morning today. Okay, this is my lunch. Okay, I'm going for swimming. Okay, it's okay for some people. It might be engagement strategy, but if you really want to be a professional influencer or trying to just refine your marketing strategy for your company, talk about things that matter to your audiences. Okay, so Omkar, what I'm saying is, if you want to become a good content creator, first of all, you have to think about your audiences first, that what they want to talk about, what they want to learn about, what they want to listen to, and how you can add value to their lives, right? It's not about you, it's about them, right? So when you create a content, you are the creator, but they are the judges, they are the they need to have something they need to gain something out of it. So you have to focus on creating value. Even if I don't believe that you have to write 5,000 words blog or create a 50 minutes video and deliver nothing, right? Create a 20 seconds video or 500 words blog, or maybe some comments on some forums or some interesting value adds, on these platforms. So that's how you can, I'm just giving you a broad overview. This is how you can become a pro in your content game, right? So is that answering your question, Omkar?
Yeah, I think he's responded on the chat box. Actually, there's one more question from Sriram. He's asking video content. This is kind of a follow-up to what you just said, right? Video content is getting more views as compared to static content due to its rich content nature. So does Facebook Live, is it a good marketing tool? What are some tips to keep the Facebook Live engaging?
All right, so that's a great question. Now, live streaming is in, right? Be it Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or YouTube, you can do live streaming pretty much on all the major platforms. I'm talking about 4 major platforms, starting from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not allowing everyone for live streaming, so you have to apply for that, and they approve that, if you are eligible for that, then they give you that option. All right. Now, coming to Facebook Live. Now, the question is that, is it a good marketing tool? 100%, it's a great marketing tool. What are the tips to keep Facebook Live engaging? Yeah. Now, depending on your specialization, I think Sriram, can you just give us a bit about yourself? Like, what's your specialization? I will just take that as an example. If you can hear me, just post over here. What's your specialization? Or if you want to talk about any particular industry, let's say restaurant. Okay. Or if you are into a food industry, right? Now you want to do Facebook Live. Now, what should be the content? On Saturday evening, you want to talk about, let's say you are into South Indian food. Okay. You are providing these services in a certain area, right? Now, what you will talk about? You can talk about, the beauty of, different range of different variety of that food which you are preparing, and talk about some, healthy contents of that. If you have something like, you are preparing it with great care, or, you are using the contents which are organic, I'm saying that just talk about that, using this organic, or maybe using olive oil in, this food product, how it impacts your health, so it can be a topic that how using, how different restaurants are coming up with practices that are really hurting your health, So I have seen several videos like that, where people talk about that if you go to a restaurant, you never know that how it's been cooked, right? Or what all are the ingredients. You might be eating plastic, which they, which they just, cut with the vegetables, or you might be eating certain things which you even don't know, right? Or they might be using oil, which is not, which might be synthetic. Okay, so just pick those contents which just get the pulse of your audience. That's what I'm trying to say. Get the pulse of your audience and talk about that. Then people will really get some value that, okay, this is the thing which we should be taking care of when we are going to a restaurant, right? And they might end up believing that when you are so conscious about this thing, you might already be taking care of that, right? So that's how you position yourself, that, okay, because Shriram is talking about this thing, so he's already aware of this. So I'm sure that he's not going to ditch us, he's going to take care of this thing. So Shriram is the right guy for this thing. Yeah. So this is one example. If you have any other industry example, just let me know. I can take that as an example. Yes, Shriram. So is that answering your question? That is one of the tips you can use.
Cool. I think he's on mute.
Okay.
We have one more follow-up question from Deepika. Sakshi has been also trying to respond to some of the answers, but let me pose the question to you as well. Deepika is asking, what is the specific difference between digital marketing, content writing, and social media marketing?
Okay. The difference between digital marketing, content writing, and social media marketing. Now, the difference is that content writer just writes the content, So let's say you are a digital marketer. So you will do the research, you will evolve your content marketing strategy, you will research on your buyer's persona, you will research on your audiences, you will define your target market, you will go and find out that which platforms are right for you, what your competitors are doing, what your company is going to provide in the market, what are your strengths, basically doing this SWOT analysis, if I'm not wrong. Let me show you some templates I have just compiled. I think these are great questions which are coming in, so I already was expecting this. So I have some, I've compiled some templates for you guys. So let's say buyer's persona. Okay, so whenever you are doing your social media marketing or digital marketing, I'm coming to the difference. First of all, this is the first step. Just identify your buyer, and just list out what are their different attributes, right? So this is a template, for example. All right, so let's take a fictitious person, like, and you are into what product should I take this time? I've taken cars, I've taken food. Now, what do you want to take? Let's say consulting services. All right, consulting like CA or advisory services. You must have heard about PwC or Ernst & Young, those kind of services, CA financial services. Let's talk about that. Now, who is going to be your target client? Who is going to buy from you? Yeah. Now, this guy, what's their product knowledge about your product? Let's say you are offering advisory services in HR advisory. All right. So what is their product knowledge? HR policies, recruitment. I'm just giving you some quick example, recruitment and code of conduct. Okay. And so on, like all the other strategies and the processes and policies and all, right? So I'm just giving you some keywords right here. What's their education? They are, let's say, MBA in HR. Who you are dealing with, now you are identifying who you are going to deal with, right? So let me make it clear to you. Yeah. All right. What's their experience? So if you are a big consulting service, organization, their experience must be, let's say, 12 years plus, or maybe, you can say 10 years plus, because these are the people who would buy from you. They have the decision-making authority. You have to identify. If you're into sales or marketing, you must be having knowledge that, these are the gatekeepers, these are the decision makers, these are the influence within the organization, right? So you define that this guy who's going to take decision, I'm going to target him or her, right? So then you define their experience, and then go with the likes, their dislikes. What will they like to hear from you? What they will not like, their dislikes. What are their goals? What are their challenges? Why they will hire you at all? Why can they do that thing in-house? Why they should be hiring you, for example? All right. Or if you are a digital marketer, I can see that there are some digital marketers. So why just think that why somebody should hire you as a digital marketer? Can't they hire as a consultant? Can't they hire people in-house? Or what is your value proposition? Why you are so different that they want to work with you? Because you bring something unique, right? So just figure that out, that, what are their likes, dislikes, and what are their challenges which you can solve. All right. And, who is going to influence them? So maybe if you are targeting HR directors, so maybe HR manager or assistant managers, they are going to influence their decisions, or their subordinates are going to influence the decision, or their top management is going to influence the decision that whether to hire this company or not, right? And what are their typical responsibilities? This will help you in defining your buyer's persona. All right. And when you speak their language, they will understand, right? If you are meeting a HR manager or HR director, you speak about, their concerns, they will be happy to hear. If you talk about your products that, you want to sell this to someone or to you, they might not be interested, right? So you have to speak the language of your customer. That's the first thing. And that's missing 99% of people. I have so unfortunate to see that, digital marketers, they just start sending messages to random people that, you are offering SEO services, you are offering this, blah, 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 advertising services, and just let me know. Nobody is going to, I think really people respond to these kind, but if you address the pain point that, if you are in this industry and this is your pain point, and this is how I can address that, these are some of the potential ways I can help you with, then people might be interested in listening to you. Getting the point? So this is buyer's persona template. You can just create a buyer's persona template and just start. Maybe you can, if you want, you can take a picture, or I don't know how you can take this format for your reference. But this is a very broad format which you can utilize. All right, so let's move forward to the marketing strategy template. This is something which I always profess that, just start with this template or these points whenever you want to define your social media marketing strategy. You will get the difference, like, you're talking about that what's the difference in social media marketing strategy, content writing, and digital marketing. You will start noticing the differences. A content writer is not going to do this thing. A digital marketing guy is going to do this thing, or a social media marketing guy to do this thing. Social media marketing guy will only talk about social media. They will not talk about your website or SEO or automations or the other allied services which are outside the domain of social media. Social media is about your prime platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, or maybe some other. I don't recommend that go with like 20 different channels because you won't be able to justify. So just stick with 5 or maybe 3 channels. I always say that go with 3 channels to start with, or always enhance your skills, because within those platforms you have story format, you have different kind of other formats. So if you are just moving, like, how many, if you want to travel with, 2 boards, in Hindi we say that, you cannot go along with, 2 boards, you have to choose 1 board. So still you can go with 3-4 channels, like, I'm not saying go with 1, just go with 3-4. Don't go beyond that. You won't be able to manage that unless you have a huge team or you are a huge multinational. That's a different story. But focus, or you as a professional, I'm talking about you as a professional, focus on 3-4 channels. You as an entrepreneur, define your niche market and focus on these 3-4 things max. Beyond that, maybe after some years or some time, you can expand or scale up. Now, this is the template for social media marketing strategy. Define your vision. Some of these things, like you can just align with your company's vision and mission. Let's say your company's vision is to grow your clients' businesses, by making a difference in people's life, so this is a huge vision. Now, vision statements are like that, so these are very subjective statements. Then you come to the mission, how you are going to make a difference in people's lives, So you will say that, you are going to provide them tools and technology, which is going to make their lives easier. And these are the technologies, so that's your mission, that you have certain tools or certain products in hand that are going to make their lives easier. It can be any industry. So that's your mission. Now you have to align with your social media strategy, because once you, just jot down all these things, your vision for your social media marketing will start evolving. right? The biggest mistake which people or which social media marketing or digital marketing professionals do, that they start with no vision in mind. They start with transaction, they start creating content, they start creating graphics and everything, and just go to the market, just start publishing, posting. That's not going to work in the long term, okay? Because that's not aligned with your vision or mission, and you won't be able to engage with the audiences and your company. If you're working somewhere, your company will realize that it's not producing that much of result because you're not reaching out the right people, and what you're talking about is not in alignment with the company's vision and mission, right? Then what categories you're operating in, you can see the different columns out there, that what are the categories, what is your catchphrase or slogan which you want to, which really catches the attention, which really defines who your company is or who you are, right? So that's that tagline. Just put it over here. Then it will help you create the content also. Okay. Then define your clients' challenges, right? That what are their challenges? These are the don't start creating the content, just out of blue, right? Do some research, sit on this for one day, and you will get great insights about what you need to do about your social media. So these are like client challenge one. What are their major pain points? Just define those 3 major challenges or pain points. Then you go to the next column where we are talking about differentiators. What makes you different? What makes you or your company or your products so different in the market? Why you are different from the other competitors? Why somebody buy from you and not the competitor? You have to have at least 3 points over there, right? So just jot down these things, then come down, and same way you have to define your differentiators for your products. That within your, let's say you are promoting, let's say BMW, and you have 3 products, BMW 3 Series and 5 Series and maybe a coupe or 7 Series, let's say, or a sports. So these are the differentiators why people should not buy Audi or Mercedes but BMW. You have to define your differentiators right here. Then you come down and say opportunities. Now what are the this is for you. Now what are the opportunities? Let's say I spoke about BMW. So what are the opportunities? Let's say if you compare with Audi or Mercedes, what are the opportunities? There are some diehard fans of BMW. They believe in BMW for some reason. So maybe it's style or the aesthetics or something. So you can define that so that you can focus on that content more, right? And then come down weaknesses and potential solutions. So identify your weaknesses also. I'm just talking about some SWOT thing also. If you are aware of, like, if you're into management, you know that how to do SWOT analysis. Just do that SWOT analysis, weaknesses, and then try to address that maybe, if your customer is thinking about this product and they might have these questions in mind, they might not buy from me because this is something which is missing. Okay. And how to address that? Just think about, if you go to a market and let's say you speak to a sales, even they try to, and you say that, I have seen that product and I'm thinking about, this thing also. They will quickly come up with some certain drawbacks of their, weaknesses, right? It happens. So I'm not saying that to start doing that in your social media, but start talking about your strengths and how you are different than those. And if there are any potential weaknesses, just try to mitigate that in some perspective. If you have any product, if you have any examples of any industries, I can take that and talk about that. Right. Then comes your brand essence. What is the brand essence? What your brand stands for? Why you are in the market at all? What's your essence? What do you want to do with your company or your product or what you are offering? Right? So define that brand essence. If you're a digital marketer, do it for your companies, do it for your clients. If you are in a company working as a marketing professional, do it for your company. If you are an entrepreneur and trying to develop your business or trying to launch your startup, do it for yourself. So this template is for pretty much everyone. And then a boilerplate statement, like what your company, just define your statement, just define your company in one line. What do you stand for? It's a 30-second pitch for your company. If somebody asks, hey, Omkar, hey, Ronak, hey, Deepika, what do you do? So what's your company all about? You should be able to talk about that in just 10 seconds. That's it. Okay. You must have seen Shark Tank, or I'm sorry, I think you must have seen those things. And these kind of serials like Shark Tank and all, where people pitch for their products and all, they just give 20-30 seconds. You have to define your value. You should be able to define your value proposition in flat 20-30 seconds, right? You don't have like hours to speak about that. So that is your boilerplate. Okay, once you start thinking in this direction, you will get all the answers. I'm sure you will get all the answers. So the specific difference between digital marketing, content writing, social media marketing. Digital marketing covers everything: SEO, website. If you call yourself a digital marketing professional, you are also covering social media within that. So if you create a Venn diagram, you will see that digital marketing covers pretty much everything. So you have to work with your content writers, you have to work with your website developer, you have to work with your IT guys, you have to work with graphic designers. So pretty much all the people. But if you are into content writing, you just have to write a blog, or you just have to write the social media post, and that's it. Content writing, that's a major difference. If you are talking about social media marketing, you have to focus on social media marketing platforms, which you are targeting. All right. So you may not be asked to work on your website. For example, if you're a social media marketing manager, rarely, somebody will ask you that go to the website and please see that, how many pages, how many blogs, things like that, website, or maybe other things which are outside social media domain. So that's a clear difference. All these three fields are great. If you have a knack for content writing, this will help you in digital marketing, because everything is based on content. Content is the king, queen, whatever you want to say. Content is everything, right? If you have the right mindset to develop the content, you can do wonders in digital marketing. Otherwise, also, if you are not good at writing, or you don't want to, or you don't have interest in writing at all, or things like that, you can have some people working with you who can just fill up those gaps, right? So that's how it works. If that's the question, that if you are a digital marketer but you don't have interest in writing content, or you don't want to write social media posts or social media content, or maybe a blog review or blog or articles, you have to have content writer with you. Yeah.
Got it.
That's the difference. Yeah. Any other questions, please?
Yeah, I think there's one. Sambit had directly messaged me. His question is, I'm a newbie in digital marketing, and my question is, how to practice social media marketing as a beginner, and can I get clients only for social media management?
Yes, 100% you will get clients for social media only. Yeah. So first of all, define what is your interest area. Can I get his name, please?
Yeah, Sambit.
So Sambit, first of all, you define what is your interest. Okay. Are you interested in automotive? Are you interested in food? Are you interested in real estate? Are you interested in infrastructure? Which industry you are interested in? Technology, which industry you are interested in, right? Where is your passion? Okay. First, I didn't ask this yourself. Okay. So now let's say your passion is into automotive. You really want to work in, you really like cars or bikes or, automotive, automobile, that's your passion. Now, once you are sure about that, okay, then just map out what all companies are there for your knowledge. First of all, you have to become a pro in that domain before asking someone that you can help them with social media. Now, map out all the companies, just figure out, how the market looks like in your country, maybe in your city. Start with local, because if you are interested in catering to the local companies, they can be your customers. Car showrooms can be your customer. I'm just giving you an example. I don't know that whether you are interested in automotive or not.
He's messaged me saying hotels and restaurants.
Hotels and construction.
Restaurants.
Okay, so let's say hotels. Now hotels, man, it's a huge industry. Not as of now after Corona, but otherwise it's a great industry. Hotels definitely need social media marketing to reach out to their potential customers, right? everything is happening online. If you are in a certain city where it's a tourist hub or something, or maybe people come for business meetings or so. So just figure out your target market, that these are the 10 different companies which might be interested in your social media services. All right. First of all, just figure out, don't do anything. Don't approach them directly like that, because there is always one chance, just approach directly. Just figure out that these are the 10 companies. All right. Then go and analyze their social media presence, what they are doing in social media. Okay. Just analyze. Don't make decisions. Don't make judgments. They might be great. They might be bad. They might be very bad. Don't make judgments. Just analyze that. Okay, this is your analysis. This company is doing fairly well. This is not doing, their competitors are doing fairly great, but this company is not touching that point at all. They have this. Just do that kind of analysis. Just jot down, just sit and, write. And then see that how you can address those gaps. Let's say some hotel in your, it can be a small hotel, just even large kind of a business, they might be having great services, in smaller cities in India, there are some great hotels which nobody knows about, right? Because they are not aggressive in social media marketing. They are not having digital media presence. Now just jot down that what you can do to help them out. Okay. So your objective should not be to get the client. Your objective should be to get, how you can help them. All right. Because they don't want to meet people who are interested in their services. They want to work with people who are interested in their business, who can grow their business, right? So if you can just list out that these are the 5 things you can do for these businesses. All right. And first of all, be very sure that these are the things you can deliver confidently and you can speak about confidently, and just go and offer that. Just make your plan and just make a cold call, maybe, just make a phone call. If it's a very local business and you can just speak to them directly, just say that, I'm and don't say you are a digital marketer, you are a SEO, you are a social media, because that's everyone is doing that only. Say that you are working in the hotel marketing industry, and I have certain tips which can help you grow your business by exponentially, or just make some statement like that. Yeah. And say that, I have some great tips and I just wanted to discuss, just be very casual, that I just wanted to discuss those tips and strategies with you. Maybe that can help you out. Don't say that, you are coming to offer some services. And I offered these services to some other companies in different parts of India, and they have got benefited, right? So that's how you can start your pitch. I don't know exactly about your background, but that's how you can start your pitch, and fix a meeting and just go and meet them. Maybe their marketing guy, maybe the owner himself. Try to, if it's a small company, owners are generally the decision makers, and they pretty much drive everything. So just try to reach them out and fix up a meeting. And before that, be very sure that you have all the right knowledge and skills in hand. Okay, you know about the industry, you know about their competitors, you know about their market, you know about their target audiences, right? So let's say, it should not happen that you go to a luxury hotel and you are talking about people who are not into their target market. Yeah. Or you go to a business hotel, where most of their clients are coming for business meetings and all. But you are, offering something, you are talking about something else. All right. So compare apple to apple, and that's how you can move forward. That can give you a good start.
Awesome. On the other side, we have a very equally relevant question from Janvi. She's saying, for a fresher, how can you start working in digital marketing? Like, what are some job profiles for freshers?
Mm-hmm. All right. So how you can start working as a digital marketer initially? That's a great question. And pretty much, it's very common. The first step is always difficult, right? And I understand that first step is difficult, and it should be, yeah, because you are starting your journey. Yeah. So I would suggest that, again, coming to the same point, identify your core strengths. What's your calling? Yeah. Are you good with blogging? Are you good with social media marketing? Do you really enjoy? Can you really spend 8 to 10 hours sitting on your screen and working on Facebook and Instagram all the time? Do you enjoy that? Many people do. Many people don't. Just do that. Okay. Can you, if somebody gives you a topic to write on, can you write on that? Can you do that research? What's your, like, do you really enjoy writing? Think about that. SEO, let's say. Do you really enjoy sitting on Google and what people are searching about, going to Google Trends or going to Google AdWords or going to, and doing the research that what people are talking about, thinking that what the potential customers of a company are searching about, then, mapping that out, then asking your content writers to write content on that. Are you good at that? So once you identify your core areas, your core skills, that will help you to go to the right companies. Yeah. Because I'm sure 100% there are millions of jobs in digital marketing, but when these people interview any potential candidate, they look for passion. Okay. They look for skills afterwards. They look for passion first, right? When you speak or when you express yourself, one should realize that, yes, I think he or she is talking from his or her heart, and she really or he really wants to make a difference in this industry. Okay. Skills can be developed. Okay. And if you go to any good company, they know that skills can be developed over time. They can train you in 1 month, 2 months, and you can do exactly what they want. But if you don't have the right mindset, if you don't have that passion in that industry, in their business, you won't be able to justify with their business and justify with yourself. All right. So that's the theme for today. First, identify yourself, what you really want to do, what you are really passionate about. Can you spend, out of 24 hours, can you spend 14 hours every day without any break, without any entertainment, without any, that kind of thing? Can you work 14 hours? I'm not saying to work 14. Can you do that? All right. Because if you're passionate, have you heard about Elon Musk? He says that, he works for 16, 18 hours a day and it doesn't feel like that you're working. Okay. So if you have a passion, you don't feel like you're working. Yeah. That work becomes your vocation. You don't need to have a career for which, you need vacation from. Okay. Yeah. So just think on those lines. All right. Because once you are confident about yourself, go for the interview. There are millions I can see on Naukri.com, on so many platforms, and there are LinkedIn jobs and everywhere, there are so many opportunities. But you have to be confident. You have to be sure that, yes, this is my passion and this is what I want to do in life. Okay. So that can help you in, starting off your career in digital marketing. Don't go for jobs like which are not, your KRAs are not clear, and you don't have the right skills maybe to make justice to those things, to the activities they want. So just be sure about that. And yeah, I think that should give you a good start with, if you identify your core strengths, then you can reach out the market, reach out the companies for jobs.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a couple of, one tactical question from Ronak, where he's asking, where can I find content writers?
Where can I find content writers? Content writers, you want to find like freelancers, you go to freelancer.com, just go to Facebook groups. Okay. There are content writing groups. People are like, a lot of content writers are sitting on those groups. Just go to your Facebook and search out content writers as a Facebook group. Or if you have a LinkedIn profile, just, post that you are looking for content writing freelancers, and just define that these are the things you are looking for, and they will approach you. I think content writers, there are a lot of people who are interested in.
Got it. One question, I think it's a follow-up. I think this is more towards targeting that you had talked about, right? Sriram is asking, is there any targeting mechanism on social media wherein we can target the audience on real-time basis? If you want to target them based on location, gender, age, are they currently
Yes.
in a mall, and we can do some kind of a geo-based targeting. Is all of this
Absolutely.
possible?
Absolutely, 100%. This is possible in digital marketing, man. This is not possible in TV, radio sometimes. But yes, that's the beauty. That's the strength of digital marketing, that you can define the location. You can geo-target your audiences, not even a city, even in your, basis the pin code. Let's say you are in Delhi, you just want to reach out to people right in Connaught Place or South Delhi, or some, let's say some locations, or let's say New Friends Colony or Defense Colony. Or if you're in Mumbai, let's say you want to just target Andheri West, not Bandra, or you just want to target Bandra and not Andheri, you can do that. And not just that, within that area, let's say restaurant, you are having a restaurant and it delivers within 5 kilometers of radius. So you can define that, you're sitting here, and what are the areas within the 5-10 kilometers where you can deliver quickly. And you can simply define that and reach out to those people only. And you can also define that who you want to reach out to. Let's say within that area only, you want people who are looking for food, right? Or people who are looking for some kind of services, let's say AC cleaning services, okay, or any kind of service. You can just define that in your keywords within Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn is pretty sharp. LinkedIn I will come later, but Facebook and Google is great. Like, you can define these things, that people who are searching for this particular keyword or product in this area. You can define timings also. Like, you don't want to show your ad 24 hours a day. You just want to show, let's say it's a part-time business, you just cater to people 6 to 9 or 10, 6 to 10, or maybe, you have certain timings in mind. You can also define that your ad will be shown during those hours only. This is absolutely possible in digital marketing. That's the strength of digital marketing. You go to your TV channels and radio, they will not be able to do that. Newspapers never. That's why these channels are dying, and that's why all the digital channels are flourishing.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right. I think there's a couple of questions which are on similar lines, Vikram. It's kind of a follow-up to, I think, what you answered for Janvi, right, on what kind of roles you should go after, right? So Sagar is asking, can I choose multiple specializations at the same time? Deepika is interested in knowing why did you as a professional then end up doing multiple functions, right? So how should one look at it? At what point should we start looking at one function in digital marketing? Is there like a journey into, through which you end up becoming a more full stack kind of a digital marketer? How does it typically work?
Yeah. So let's say, you are, you want to become a specialist. Okay. Now you have seen there are specialist doctors and there are general physicians. Yeah. But at the same time, a heart specialist, for example, also knows how the body functions. He just doesn't know about how the heart functions. He knows about how the body functions, right? If he is going for heart surgery, he knows that how the body functions, man, isn't it? It's not just about heart only. He's not just operating heart. He knows that what is connected to what. Getting the point? Just think about this. Go slowly. If you are a heart surgeon, you know about the entire body. If you are a digital marketer, you know about how digital marketing works, even if you are not specializing in other areas. Okay, a heart specialist is specializing in his domain. He's not worried about, he doesn't have the right knowledge for brain or other parts of the body, but he do know that how these things work, how the other parts of the body works. That's why you must know that how the other things work. If you are just focusing on social media, you don't know how SEO happens, you don't know how website works, you don't know how automation can help you, you don't know anything about content writing, it's not going to give you a great career in future. And I'm not saying that you can do it in 1 month or 2 months or 1 year. It's a long journey sometimes. The more open you are for learning, the more interested you are in gaining experiences and learning from your mistakes and learning from your, your what you do rightly and not rightly, then you will gain, slowly you will gain all the knowledge and experience. And after some time, if you feel that you are really, you cannot be the master of all trades. If you want, you should be focusing on certain trades afterwards, so maybe, once you know that how digital marketing works as a function, go for a website, that how websites work, what are the technologies. You should know that what are the technologies. I'm not saying that you have to develop the website, but you know that these are the new technologies, these are the things which are working in e-commerce. Then you go to SEO. You should have functional knowledge of pretty much all the major domains of digital marketing, and then within that, choose your specialization. Yeah, that's how it can work for you.
No, I think that's a very interesting point you made, right? I mean, and that's what even if we take a couple of minutes to talk about Antwork as a platform itself, what we have done is we have created an experiential, learning platform where folks who want to either transition into, let's say, digital marketing as a career, or want to go, deeper into a certain topic within digital marketing, like you said, whether it's SEO or social media, have the opportunity to learn that from other practicing professionals who have been there and done it, right? And what you've done is we also believe in that, there's a lot of content out there where people can just consume, whether it's on YouTube or on Coursera. But the idea is to have practical hands-on knowledge and not just the theory and framework. Get your hands dirty so that you can actually start implementing it. Like whether somebody wants to do it at a hotel or restaurant client, or Janvi wants to start a new job and be productive from day one. I think having that practical hands-on experience will definitely help them get started in this career. So we have started, guys on the call, we have started a 16-week program in digital marketing where we have folks from whether it is Amazon or Google, Hotstar, MoEngage, people who are currently senior digital marketers working in the companies, practicing professionals who come and take live classes on the different topics that Vikram was just talking about, so that you understand the whole gamut of digital marketing across, from all the way from SEO to social to search engine, all the way to analytics, next generation techniques, and so on. And you will get a chance to, over the 16 weeks, get your hands dirty on some of the latest tools, which will allow you to, experiment with these through real projects. So if you guys are interested in starting a career or transitioning into digital marketing as career, are really passionate about this space, do check out our program, which is starting this week. And I will post the links on the chat box as well. And do sign up, and one of our counselors will definitely connect with you and give you a lot more details. But all in all, it's a real, live classes based learning that runs on weekends. The learning is provided to you by real working professionals, and every week you will have a real world project that you'll have to deliver, so that after the 16 weeks you come out, ready to enter that the digital marketing space, whether as a freelancer or as a working professional. Yeah, cool. I'll quickly switch back to Vikram and see if there are any last questions. I know we already exceeded our 60-minute session. It's been pretty engaging. We've got a lot of good questions coming in. Any last questions, guys, for Vikram before we let him go on this Saturday afternoon? Please post it. Otherwise, Vikram, it's been a pleasure. It's been a wonderful 60 minutes. Actually, I didn't even get a chance to ask some of the questions I had noted down. But
we can take it offline anytime. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I think Sambit has a couple of follow-up questions, right? He's saying, yeah, I understand that if hotels and restaurants is something that he's interested in, and but being a early or a entry-level digital marketer, how do I even convince my first client, even though he knows that the clients are not doing very good in terms of social media?
Offer complimentary services. Okay. Just do a pilot. Okay, just create some content, just create some graphics and content for their company, real time, very seriously, and just go with a proposal that this is the content you have created for them, complimentary, and just explain your philosophy, your vision, and if they are happy, they will take you on board. This is how it works for many people.
Absolutely well said. I mean, I think initially we don't need to try and make money out of it. We have to prove our worthiness, and I think that's the best way to get started. Brilliant advice, Vikram. I think Tanvi has one question: which media marketing would you prefer? I guess she's saying which media for marketing would you prefer if it's a pharma industry?
Okay, so pharma industry, and you want to reach out to, is it B2C or B2B? It depends. Like if you're going B2B, LinkedIn, of course, is a best platform. If you want to cater to your B2C customers, then pharma is, I think that's a great question, because pharma advertising is very restrictive. Many platforms don't allow pharma advertising. You cannot market or promote your medicines very openly, but some of the over-the-counter OTC kind of things, or maybe nutrients and your multivitamins and these things, these supplements and all, it depends on which industry within pharma. But within healthcare, I'm not clear about the question. If it is healthcare in overall, where you can cater to the fitness and supplements and that industry, that's huge. There are various ways to do that. I would suggest that you work with some health influencers and do some blogging on that. Reach out to just go to platforms like Quora, you must have heard about, or Yahoo Answers and Reddit. Just go and answer people's queries. Okay, what they are talking about, what product you have, whatever product you have, just identify the pain areas. Let's say you are offering, let me know if you have any examples, just go ahead. Otherwise, let's say within the healthcare or pharma, you are, let's say, painkillers, you cannot really talk about your product directly. Nobody is going to allow that, and that's not that's restrictive, because we cannot really give prescriptions on online like that. But yes, you can talk about different healthcare practices, fitness tips, multivitamins. Yeah, so multivitamins these days, it's a hot industry because corona, everyone needs multivitamins. And that immunity. So talk about immunity, how multivitamins can raise your immunity, how multivitamins can help you avoid certain infections, including corona and other infections also.
Yeah, she's
talk about that,
multivitamins.
Then
yeah,
absolutely. Then people will realize that why you are talking about that, you have some specialization in that maybe, and then slowly you can, if you work with any influencer or blogger, just ask them to in a very soft manner, they can talk about your product, and that's how you can promote it.
Perfect. I think we'll have just one last question. It is coming from Sakshi. Her question is making a career in social media marketing, in your opinion, is it a good career for the future in terms of both success and earning?
Oh, I mean, social media marketing as a career, sky is the limit. Okay, the sky is the limit. Which company doesn't want social media? Just let me know, and I'll be happy to know that, because I haven't found that yet. Okay, if somebody says that no, I don't want to do social media, I haven't heard about any such company in the last 5 years. In the last, everyone wants social media marketers. In future, also everyone will need social media marketers even more. But in the crowded space, when every company is vying in the same space, they are, you have a limited territory, and you are working in the same space, and there are so many companies doing the same social media marketing. Everyone is focusing on how you are going to make a difference. That's going to actually grow your career. When you think about these things that, oh my God, this is something which is missing in the industry. And you can cater to that. I, again, take an example of, let's say, Amazon or Elon Musk. He just focused that, electric cars are missing in this world, and the future is about electric car, petrol, and, these of fossil fuels and all, it's going to vanish. He realized that there is a potential in this industry. Okay. And I'm giving you a big example so that you can start thinking in those lines about yourself, and you can make it for sure if you just realize, or just find out that, these are the top things which you can do differently in the market. Sky is the limit in social media marketing, no doubt about that.
Perfect. One last question from Vivek. After that, it's a wrap. How to learn and start an Instagram agency and bring results for others?
Instagram agency, great point, man. If you're really thinking about doing this, Instagram, as you have seen, that right from teenagers to every entrepreneur startup, they want to have Instagram presence and they want to grow their Instagram. First of all, I would say that just find out all the formats within Instagram, that how and where you can help. Can you help with content production? There is a huge domain, like people want to produce content like photography and video production. Can you help with that? Can you help with editing content? Can you help with coming up with stories? Can you create content calendars? Can you start promoting that? Can you identify the right hashtags? So just define the value chain of Instagram marketing. Yeah, it starts from your hashtag research, then it goes to your content production, photography and videography or graphics. And then, you start with posting, publishing, promoting, and engaging the content, engaging the audiences through maybe commenting and, following up with them and just, engaging in some interesting conversations. Where is your strength? You can cover all of that. I'm not saying you can cover all of the entire value chain. Okay. But first of all, just identify your niche. Because it's a huge market, you will be lost if you just go and you see that there are millions of people who are looking for Instagram marketing, and you cannot cater to everyone, right? You can maybe, when you start, you can cater to maybe 1 or 2 or 3. I would suggest that go with 3 initially for at least 6 months, so that you can develop that kind of capacity to cater to more people. Just identify those people maybe. And as I said that, just offer complimentary services initially if you're not sure that people are going to buy directly from you, or maybe do some, don't go, just say complimentary. Don't say that you free services. Nobody will going to take you seriously. Just offer, complimentary services for some time. Say that, this is for this period only, for 6 months only, I'm giving you this free content. Enjoy that. After that, I'm always there to advise. Yeah. Identify your niche first.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Vikram. It has been a fantastic session. Guys, let's give a big thumbs up for Vikram. He's taken more than 60 minutes with us today. It's been extremely insightful session, and look forward to having you in many more such sessions. And yeah, thank you so much, Vikram. And guys, there are other sessions also coming up, so do check us out. You can visit antwork.com to see what are the upcoming masterclasses. And do register for more of these. And if you guys are really interested in a career in digital marketing, do check out our program and apply on that link, and we will definitely reach out to you and give you more information about it. So thanks once again. Have a good weekend, guys. Thanks, Vikram.
Just one last thing. If you want to know about Instagram and LinkedIn, I wrote a couple of ebooks, and I also wrote another ebook on how to start careers, because all these questions are coming from the same domain, how to start your career. So I have written a book on how to launch your career and how to live, life with time and financial freedom, which I'm practicing for the last several years. You can stay and work from anywhere in the world in digital marketing space. I have defined that how you can do that in my book. And there is another book on Instagram, if, as you said, the Instagram marketing, Instagram agency, how to do that. There is a book on that. I'm so glad that you're asking the questions which I've already written a book about on. And there is a LinkedIn book on LinkedIn, which that's the first book I wrote about, how to turn LinkedIn into lead generation machine. So if you are into B2B marketing, you can maybe refer to that. I think on Kindle, it's available free of cost. If you have the Kindle subscription, you can just go and search my name, Vikram Jethwani, and you will find these 4 books out there. And I think that will also answer, all of your queries, because today I didn't have much time to answer. But yes, I think in those books, I have tried to incorporate a lot of these questions, and these books are based on these questions only. So have a great career and have a great time ahead. And I really look forward to speaking with you sometime in the future. All right. And feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, on Instagram. I'll be happy to connect. And if you have any queries, just reach out to our team, and we'll be happy to talk about that.
Definitely. Right. Thank you so much, Vikram. I think just one last question is, I think some of the folks are asking for the templates that you had shared. If that is possible for you to share, is there a way we can do that?
Yeah, of course, 100%. I will send it to you. What do you suggest?
Yeah, so do send it to me, and when I send out an email with the recording, I will share it with them on email. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So I will send both the templates. 100%. These are for you only. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Vikram. It was a pleasure. All right, guys. Take care.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Have a great day.